Welcome to ABX Reviews. Today we're diving into a packed episode of Inimba, where professional ambitions clash with personal entanglements and a family emergency threatens to change everything. This episode had it all, from office schemes to heartfelt confrontations. Here are 10 key scenes from this episode. Scene 1. Ko and her friend discuss her potential office romance. Ko reveals she told her attractive colleague that she has a boyfriend to keep things professional, but her friend jokes that this might actually make him more interested, calling it the allure of forbidden fruit. Ko then gushes about how handsome her father looks in his suit. Scene analysis. This scene provides a lighter, comedic moment that breaks up the more intense drama. It explores the early, playful stages of attraction and the games people sometimes play. Character analysis. Ko is shown as someone who is professional but also has a romantic, girlish side, especially when talking about her father. Her friend is more pragmatic and playful in her view of relationships. How are the characters developing? We see Ko navigating her new professional environment while trying to balance her personal feelings, showing her growth from just an employee to someone with a complex life. Scene 2. Linda speaks with his father on the phone. His father advises him to put his ego aside and do whatever his boss, Zoleka, asks, even if it means personally finding her a new house. The conversation then shifts to their plan to sabotage a presentation, making it look like another employee's failure. Scene analysis. This scene is crucial for establishing the main antagonist plot of the episode. It happens in private, revealing the true intentions of these characters away from the office. Character motivation. Linda is motivated by a desire to please his father and advance their shared financial interests. His father is driven by greed and a willingness to undermine others for personal gain. What do I think will happen next? This plan to sabotage the presentation will likely create significant problems for the targeted employee, potentially leading to a wrongful dismissal or a major office conflict. Scene 3. Zoleka has lunch with Mwethu. He comments on her power as a CEO, but the mood sours when he confronts her about being seen with another man, Samkalo. Zoleka claims Samkalo was just a potential client, but Mwethu is visibly jealous and doubtful. Scene analysis. This scene highlights the power imbalance and insecurity in Zoleka and Mwethu's relationship. A public setting contrasts with their private tension. Jealousy. Mwethu's jealousy is palpable. He feels threatened by Zoleka's independence and her interactions with other men, revealing his possessive nature. How do the characters impact the story? Their unstable relationship adds a layer of personal drama to Zoleka's professional life, showing how her choices in one area can complicate the other. Scene 4. Zoleka confides in her friend about her stagnant marriage to Hlathi. She admits they have been separated for over 20 years but neither has officially ended the marriage. Her friend probes her about her current love life, wondering who she is seeing. Scene analysis. This is an exposition scene that gives crucial backstory on Zoleka. It explains the central love triangle and the unresolved emotions from her past. What deeper issues are being explored? The scene explores the complexities of love and commitment. It looks at what happens when a marriage legally exists but has emotionally ended, and how people move on. Character motivation. Zoleka seems motivated by a desire for freedom and fun, seeking relationships without the strings that tied down her past. Scene 5. Thumeka is upset with Hlathi after finding an old photo of him with Zoleka. She talks with a friend, expressing her fear that Hlathi still has feelings for his ex-wife. She feels insecure despite having built a life and family with him. Scene analysis. This scene gives us the perspective of the other woman in the love triangle. It creates sympathy for Thumeka and shows the emotional fallout of Hlathi's unresolved past. Jealousy. Thumeka's jealousy is rooted in insecurity and a fear of being second best. It is less about anger and more about a deep-seated sadness. Lessons learned. The friend advises Thumeka to communicate her feelings to Hlathi instead of letting them fester, highlighting the importance of open conversation in a relationship. Scene 6. Thumeka's friend gives her advice. She acknowledges that Hlathi loves Thumeka but explains that doesn't erase his past with Zoleka. She strongly encourages Thumeka to sit down with Hlathi and have an honest talk about her feelings and his attachment to the past. Scene analysis. This scene serves as a voice of reason, pushing one of the main characters toward positive action and resolution. Lessons learned. The key lesson here is that keeping insecurities bottled up only causes personal distress. Confronting issues, though difficult, is necessary for healing. What do I think will happen next? This advice will likely lead to a future confrontation scene between Thumeka and Hlathi, forcing him to address the state of their relationship. Scene 7. Zoleka assigns Linda the personal task of finding her a new apartment. Linda is visibly offended once she leaves, complaining to his father that he is a professional, not a personal assistant. This is when his father tells him to put his ego aside. Scene analysis. This scene establishes the immediate conflict between Zoleka and Linda, showing her misusing her power and him feeling disrespected. Betrayal. Linda feels a sense of professional betrayal. He was hired for his IT skills, not for personal errands, which feels like a violation of his professional role. Character motivation. Zoleka's motivation is purely convenience. She sees a resource and uses it without considering the professional boundaries. Scene 8. Mawethu confronts Zoleka in her office. He directly asks when their relationship became open, referencing the man he saw her with. Zoleka turns the tables, asking when he started coming to her office uninvited. The argument is heated and tense. Scene analysis. This is the climax of their relationship conflict in this episode. The power dynamics shift as Zoleka reasserts her control over her personal space. Character analysis. Zoleka remains cool and deflects when challenged, showing her defensive nature. Mawethu's confrontation reveals his inability to handle the casual terms of their relationship. Is the story strong, confusing, predictable, surprising? The tension feels real and earned. It is a predictable confrontation given the earlier lunch scene, but the execution is strong and impactful. Scene 9. Zoleka receives an urgent phone call about her mother. She learns her mother was found unconscious and has been taken to the hospital. She immediately tells Mawethu to leave and makes arrangements to travel to Imbizana, her professional demeanor crumbling. Scene analysis. This scene acts as a major turning point, injecting a serious real-world crisis that cuts through all the personal and professional drama. How do the characters impact the story? This event will undoubtedly force Zoleka to re-evaluate her priorities and could be a catalyst for change in her relationships with Hlathi and her family. What do I think will happen next? Zoleka's trip will likely bring her into contact with Hlathi, especially if her mother's condition is serious, forcing them to interact in a high-stakes, emotional environment. Scene 10. Linda stays late at the office, supposedly working on the important capital cyber security project. A female colleague stops by, and they have a flirtatious conversation where he clarifies he is not seeing anyone, and she wishes him luck with his work before leaving. Scene analysis. This scene adds depth to Linda's character, showing he is not just a villain but has a personal life and connections. It also creates a potential future romantic subplot. Character development. We see a more personable side of Linda here, a contrast to the scheming man we see with his father. It makes his character more complex. What do I think will happen next? This colleague could become a love interest for Linda, which may later complicate his secret plans if she becomes suspicious of his actions.